Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to War Hospital. This is episode number 7. Oh, man. Immediately, we have an event. A French deserter. Oh, okay, this was our scout mission. Scouts find tracks and traces of bandages. They lead to a village that seems to have been bombed by German aircraft. Men from the village work to recover what they can from destroyed buildings, but their exhaustion is visible even from afar. Understandably, the villagers are quite untrusting of the scouts. When questioned about the French deserter, the village mayor denies seeing anyone, but the scout commander notices uneasiness in his behavior. We can coerce the mayor for more information, extract information using coercion. This is not a very humane thing to do, or help the villagers with their work. That seems like the smart thing to do. It's going to take around 10 hours, while working scouts may hear some rumors or gently question some of the villagers during casual conversations. That's the good way to do things. That's the way we're going to do it.
Scouts unit have started a new mission.
So, 10 more hours till the scouts are finished. Speaking of scouts, here's the game plan going forward and a little reflection before we get into that game plan.
New patient arrived.
Right away, with my brief test run before I started the game, it became apparent that research was going to be really important and try to get on top of it. And we did early on. And we got in a good way, we got strong, and then things got chaotic and went bad real fast. I think, on reflection, as much as I was proud of myself for getting on top of research, I didn't get on top of research anywhere near the extent that one could possibly do. As a result, things have been rather, difficult, much more so than we've bridged the gap, right? We're somewhere in between, but we're definitely not looking as strong as we otherwise could be looking. That's going to be one thing to keep in mind in the next little bit as we reset the pharmacy crew with these two rested guys.
Sir, medics are on
I need to get on top of research once again. But to get on top of research, two things have to happen. One, we need resources. Two, we need military contracts. So, the path forward, the plan, in the short term as we run out of supplies yet again, and until our next train station shipment comes in. Obviously, the train station and our cargo trains, they just do not bring enough, right? We look back at the schedule, we're getting 10 to 11 food per. We're getting 261 to 264 consistently, regularly. But that's it, right? That's the extent. That's no longer enough by itself. The scouts and their missions can provide more. So in the short term, scouting is going to become more and more important.
Medics reached the cemetery.
In the short term, military contracts are going to become more and more important because we've already discovered that the happy way, the easy way, shorter rehabilitation on this surgery. That's good.
Sir, patient is cured.
Did I not just swap you out, literally? No, the casualty clearing station was the one that didn't get immediately swapped out. I swapped out the operating ward to give rest. Well, anyway, military contracts are becoming more important because, one, that's how we do the upgrades. But two, that's how we could also bring extra supply in through trains. So we're going to start funneling more and more to that front. Morale is hanging in there. The morale's okay. We're at 51%. We already know that if we increase the rations, that's another way to boost morale. So we don't necessarily need to send someone home.
Sir,
we also don't need to be sending very many to the front. We've sent lots and lots and lots of power to the front. For now, it's keeping up just fine as the clearing station is up to 11 and a tired nurse. Checking in there once again. Yeah, she's exhausted. The other one's down to 1 hour rest. So that the idea is going to be that we need to increase military contracts in the short to medium term and focus on improving our scout system, all as two primary methods to get more supply. And to get more supply, will get us on top and get us covered off and get us in a position where, in the event of another train wreck or flood of casualties or something, right? When bad things happen, we've got reserves. To make upgrades, we're going to need that supply anyway. So all of it feeds to more supply, which means more military contracts. That's the plan for now. We have a terminal case. We have 11 supplies. We have somebody who is well rested, so we're going to have the terminal case go in there before it's too late. No, not going to make it. Okay, Black Skull. So he is not going to make it through. Therefore, I have to take this one, switch him to denied. That's one patient that's going to be lost. It's another VIP. It's VIP, VIP, and then a third VIP. We have 6 spare resources right now, but not 10. So we're short by 4, and his situation is serious. I think we're going to lose that one. All right, well, there's 9 points to send to HQ. That's the plan in the short term. And actually, this other one who we were about to send to the front, I think we can undo that and send them to HQ instead. Plus 10 points.
Artillery bombardment.
Uh-oh, here we go. Artillery bombardment incoming.
Sir, we have wounded soldier.
Patient just died.
Sir,
That was the one
new
that was
patient arrived.
terminal, and he definitely didn't make it 3 hours. He made it maybe 20 minutes was all. Oof, that advanced dressing station. 9. I'm guessing quite a few of those are in the trenches. Ooh, well, we just got our medic team to level up. Second time leveling up. Nice. Morale increases. It works significantly better at the cemetery. Works significantly better. Just period. Works more efficiently. It's not affected by negative traits. Well, both the ambitious and the composed are good, but we'll go ahead and add that one in. And advanced dressing station, yeah, 10 wounded in the trenches, 1 deceased that's out there. This all just happened. So they are counting what's happening at the front against us. So all that random number that just kept popping up, that was the obvious situation that was quite bad. Remove the shards manually puts that's not looking good. Increased cost is 1. The electromagnetic to remove the shards. It's actually still making the situation worse, but we'll do that. Oof, 15 now, 16.
Operation was successful.
Yeah, 16 wounded in the trenches after that bombardment. 17, and counting. That number is growing rapidly. There's 9 already waiting here. Our shipment that we ordered has come in. Food is good. Alcohol is, it's okay at 12. But chemical resources at 15 now, and 5 for the trauma. That means I do think we might be able to get the... Yes. No. We have not started that. He's stable. Do we want to try to save this guy? If we swap them... Yeah, they both have a chance. What if we do a rest? He'll make it. Okay. We need 3 more resources, though, so we need to get on with that. Here we already have 5 waiting. We're down to 1 that's stable. We'd want to treat them first, especially as it's only using 2 resources. This guy's well rested, so we'll put him there. We'll let the other 4 be pending for now.
Sir, operation was successful.
Plus 22. Numbers are improving. Of course, the nice thing right now is the more you save, the more you can send to HQ, the more you can get the military contracts, which in turn, and here we go, it's an event. Oh, crap. Down Zeppelin.
What was that?
It looked like German Zeppelin.
Well, ain't you a perceptive one? Major Wells, I report that a German Zeppelin was forced to crash near our trenches. But there are no casualties, sir. At least, not on our side.
And the crew?
Probably dead, sir. My men couldn't check. Too much fire. Also, there may be some unexploded ordnance inside. It's better to leave it alone for now.
New scout mission? Guessing that's what that has triggered as a new scout mission. Gosh. 16. Another successful operation as we head into another opportunity. We have 4 supplies for now. The guy who is in the worst condition that will deteriorate the fastest is the least amount of supplies used. So we're going to go ahead and put him here, but we're going to let this guy finish his rest. I guess we're going to take a 1-hour surgery and then he's going to go rest. It's not letting me set the rest. We've got 2 more patients ready to go for HQ. One of them a VIP, so we might have limits on what we can do. No, he's fine going back to HQ. And we now have 12 points ready on send to HQ.
Sir, patient is cured.
Okay, we are already working on some chemical supplies. We need to get up to... what do we need to get to? 8?
We lost this patient.
Oh, we lost 1 patient during operation there. Morale's at 51% though. We're not doing too bad there. Gosh, how did our medic teams get that tired that fast? I just swapped them out.
Sir,
We need to get extra medics.
Are on the way.
We're up to 8 on the military contracts
medics
for
are
the
on the
moment,
way.
but we only have 102 supplies, so I'm not sure there's much we can do at this moment unless we want to send a supply train for those supplies. I think that might be the first thing, because we're not yet right. We've got the food right, the alcohol is okay, the chemical supplies are okay, but the trauma is still very low, the general surgical is still very low, and the overall supply is very low for the moment. What can we do? Well, when do we have our next order? We've got
Sir,
a train coming in
nurses
2
reached
hours, and then the following one is going to be here at noon, and it's 2 a.m. now, so we've got 2 hours and then 10 hours from now. But as for the ordering resources, the tricky thing is you can't order the raw resources. That's a tricky part there. As for right now, we could get more engineers. We could get more medic teams, and medic teams are cheap. Oh yeah, we're gonna definitely bring in at least 1 medical team, but we can't bring in additional scouts right now. It'd be nice to get additional scouts. Turns out that they are quite cheap. Maybe we hold off on the second point. We'll get 1 medic team on the way, and we'll save that second point for an additional scout team. But as for resources, well, there's the trauma supplies. They're so expensive. I think the chemical and trauma supplies, you need to just produce them yourself and then use alcohol, right? There's 1. That's 2 supplies to fill up the alcohol. So instead of producing that one yourself. Surgical supplies is another one. Not a fan of how expensive that is, but we'll get a little bit. Help top off. So we're going to spend 5 military contracts for now on another shipment, but maxing out the alcohol so we don't have to produce it ourselves because it's cheap. Knowing where and how to use it is very important. It's going to take 4 hours for that order to get here, though. We do have an event, and we have a boost to morale and a surgery that is going to go perfectly. And there's another. Schedule only normal recovery or morale boost with a longer rehab. You know what? Let's take the morale boost and the longer rehab. Morale jumps to 58%. That's very nice. The advanced dressing station is still very busy with 15 patients up here. 14 of them still in the trenches, even though we do have medics assigned to it, but it's only 1 medic crew. But the clearing station,
patient is cured.
It's getting cleared. It's not as bad. It was full just a little bit ago. We have just 3 waiting, and we have 8 more supply. Even though there's a 6 here, I think we really can get to all of them, as 2 of them are down to stable. I think we want to start from there. All have a good chance of success. This guy's tired, rested, and well rested, so we'll go with the well rested. And an event popped up, longer operation by an hour and a half. Increased cost to reduce risk, or shorter operation by an hour, but increased risk. A metal shard from the tip of a bayonet from the looks of it. We've got longer operation. The risk is low. I think adding the extra hour and a half. The doctors aren't doing too bad. I think we'll be okay.
Operation was successful.
Save the resources. Rehab center just at 3 right now. And again, HQ. Another 8 points on the way there. That would bring us up to 15 temporarily. Yeah, we definitely need that. Even though we have 5 medic teams as it is, we need that 6th one. I don't think we need to work on the food in the short term, and we definitely don't need to work. I think we need to work on trauma supplies. So we're going to swap this out. We're going to go ahead and rest them, and we're going to put 1 engineer on trauma supplies, and then we have 1 other that's fresh. So food's cheap. 10 food for 1 military contract. That's not bad. I mean, one triple saved patient is 30 food for us. The French deserter mission. Scout team offers to help with the repairs. Village mayor surprised at first, but knowing the exhaustion of his people is grateful for any help. Untrusting at first, the villagers warm up to the scouts after a couple of hours. After a day's worth of work, most of the buildings that could be repaired are mostly fixed. Thanks to the scouts' help, the work was finished faster than anticipated. Comparing rumors and things overheard during conversations, the scouts discovered that in recent days there were some lights and movement spotted in a nearby abandoned church. Could be worth investigating. 4 missions for the moment. Forest Wraith. During one of their patrols, the scout team discovered well-masked but often repetitive human traces that suggest someone is traveling that route every day. HQ, suspecting German spies, requested the scout team to be sent to investigate. Going to take 13 hours to complete.
Sir, Scouts unit has started a new mission.
Ooh, hello. We have an impending attack. It's days from now, but for the first time, we are not looking strong. We do not have the numbers. We are going to have to send more to the front. We're going to want to do that earlier than later. So I think what we have for HQ right now, that's going to be it for HQ for a little bit. We need to handle the front. That'll be the priority until we're good.
Patient is cured.
And somebody's cured and now it's good. But it does suggest that we are going to need at least some heading back to the front from time to time. We might want to send the next couple just to help with that number. So 4 strength will be sent to the front. In the short term, we have a lot of HQ points anyway. So plus 23. We're not tremendously going in a very strong way, but we're up to 14 surgical supplies. We're at 10 chemical supplies. Let's check in on that clearing station and what we can do as we have another 96 approaching 100 saved.
New patient arrived.
We have one that's serious. Do we have the supplies? Yes, we do. We have somebody that's rested, so we'll be able to get started on that right away. Slowly but surely, we're making progress in the chemical ward, where we do have enough supplies to do both of our VIP surgeries and get them both out, hopefully alive. Minimal risk for both of them. And then now we have another patient waiting. Requires 4 supplies. We now have 2 to the good, so we're going to be actually 2 to the bad to get them in. And again, more rest is going to be necessary. That chemical ward takes quite a while. But we're really down to just a single patient who is awaiting any sort of treatment long term in the planning phase. We're doing a really good job there taking care of it. But the medical teams are really not necessarily on top of the situation. You know, quite a few being dealt with here. Have we gotten any of them out of the trenches yet? Yes. So slowly but surely, the medic team is pulling them out of the trenches. That number's down to 12 from, 17? We've got 3 of them now at the advanced dressing station, so it's getting better, and we're helping that out. It's helping with the number of casualties. It's definitely decreasing in time. And this operating ward is getting bigger and bigger with all those tent extensions that we have. Our extra medical team has arrived. So we're going to send an extra 1 there. We're going to send 2 the casualty clearing station. Military contracts is at 10. At the moment, we're at 200 resources. I think it's a good time to look at the camp improvements and see what we can do. Again, short term, our goal is to help with the scouting situation. We want to make sure increase scout teams. And actually, that won't even cost us supply, so we'll go ahead and get that one on the go. I did just decide that we were going to rest 2 of these guys, but they can start the assignment after their rest. 2 events in the operating ward. Let's hope that they're good. Blue, I think, suggests that it is good, and yes, we are seeing a decreased risk. That's excellent. And then for the other one, Likewise, we could have a decreased risk or decreased cost by 2 and a shorter operation by an hour, and the risk was already low, so we'll omit cleaning up the wound. And there you go, saved some resources. Meanwhile, the clearing station is starting to fill up a little bit as some of those patients have been brought. Let's see what we can do for them. 2 more here, both stable. We now have a well-rested doctor, so he can take care of the new surgeries. And we have just enough resources, so we'll get to see both of them. Trauma ward. We're going to make it here, just on the resources. Chemical ward. We're short, though. We're still short by 1 as it is, but we only need 2 additional for this one, but it's going to be a while. It look like they're not going to last terribly long, though. We want to have them go first. Yikes. Our VIP is suddenly critical. I don't think he's going to make it now, folks. That'll save some resources, though. But it does look like we're going to lose that VIP. If we cut short the rest, though, we might make it. So we'll have to check into that. But he's suddenly critical. His situation has deteriorated significantly. We're still involved in the other surgery.
Sir, operation was successful.
It's actually just about to end.
Sir, new patient arrived. Sir, operation was successful.
There you go. That has just finished minutes later. So it was not a long wait from there. Shorter rehabilitation, another positive event. Cuts it by 12 hours and another surgery.
Sir,
about to end
operation
and ends successfully. Gets us to 99. 99. We are going in a good way at the moment. Things are going quite well. Let's go ahead and do a rehab center check-in. 2 more pending. We've already added 2 to the front. We're going to go back to primarily going to HQ. Morale is high, so we don't need to do anything there. But we'll still do the occasional to the front, because obviously we're kind of on the limit. Game is broken down into chapters. The attack in 2 days, I believe, is the end of the first chapter. And with a successful operation, that's 100. 100 patients survived. We save 4 to every 3 that are lost. But roughly 2 of the 3 that are lost at the front. They are lost never making it out of the trenches and back to us. Slowly but surely, you can see here, there's 1 deceased, there's 3 wounded here, and then there's 9 that are still out in the trenches. More medic teams will help with that ratio, but that means it's putting more of a strain on the resources. But the more we save, the more we get those military contracts, and in turn, get the supplies we need. Dang, that went up fast. 3 more here, including a VIP, but they're all 1s. Yikes on that part. 1 extra medic available. Casualty clearing station for them. Give that group a rest. Actually, give both of those groups a rest. And then 1 exhausted nurse. I think we need more nurses. 1 more nurse. The engineers are fine. These guys are still resting. It's only been an hour.
Medics are on the way.
No, they started resting again. They went and did some of the work, and then food is still a negative.
Medics are on the way.
We're using 16. The train brings us roughly 10 to 11. So we're losing maybe 5 resources when it comes to the food each time. So it does take a bit. But considering it's only a single military contract to bring in 10, which means that's 2 sequences, which means a day we need to use 2 military contracts to keep everyone fed.
Medics reach
roughly.
The casualty
That's my estimate right now. 2 military contracts per day.
Nurses reach the casualty clearing station.
That's less than 1 patient, or on average maybe 1 patient. Severe burns already started to heal on their own. Risk cut down. Almost completely gone. So that's going to speed up the process and put them in good shape. Morale's at 48%. Not sure why it's dropped so quickly all of a sudden when we have not been losing patients. I suppose we lost 2 in the trenches. We do not have enough medical teams, but it looks like we have another level up here. It's an engineer with his first level up. Decreases construction time. Retires significantly slower when working alone. Others working with them perform better, work significantly better. So we make them better, we make others better, or we decrease construction time. I'm going to go with one of these two, right? Because that only serves one area. This serves all areas. They're not always working with others, but they are always working when they're working. So we'll make him ambitious for his first upgrade.
Sir, new patient arrived.
Rehab center filling up real fast. We need
Sir,
to.
operation
There is
was
an upgrade
successful.
to cut down rehab time. It looks like that's something we're going to need to invest in. Oh, this one's ready to go immediately. Nice. Do we want to send him back to the front to get one more sent to the front in the short term? Let's go ahead and do that. It's going to clear out some space anyway.
Sir,
We got 10
patient is
points
cured.
waiting to come from. But again, supplies will be necessary. Update time. 2 waiting at the chemical ward. We're going to end our rest. Will this... Yes! Yes, that works. Okay. So we have to... We're moving their rest back. Get up. Go treat them. And that will save them. And that's a VIP, so that's big. We've saved a couple VIPs in the last little bit. We've not seen the benefits of those just yet. This one is not going to last as long and is less resources. So we're going to... These seem to be long. Chemical ward are very long surgeries. I suppose it makes sense when you're affected chemically. Another cargo shipment has just come in, so at the moment,
Patient is cured.
things are looking good. We have resources. This is the best. This is the most stable things have been in quite some time. So last time we started to get back on track. Now we're starting to get ahead of things. The morale's okay. We have the contracts. We just had a big boost in morale of 4%. I think that was one of our VIPs maybe getting us that boost.
Operation was successful.
Things are going very well and it's making me nervous. Keep thinking at any moment things are going to go haywire once again. We are slowly clearing out the advanced dressing station, right? There's always more casualties, but the wounded in the trenches is down to 5. So that's one area where we've made a lot of progress after that latest attack. And of course, we still have almost 3 days until the next attack. It's just slightly under 3. That gives us time. It's going to be the early hours, and it's 2 in the afternoon. We're slowly getting on top of things. There's only that single not yet assigned. We've got enough supplies, surgical, and then some, but not by much. But that's everybody assigned, right? We've had a list of waiting, and we had to kind of one by one. So we're back to, I think we can treat everyone now and not have to deny people simply because it was going to cost more resources. Trauma ward is on top of it. Doctor is starting his rest. He has no active surgery, so that's going to give him time to recover. Chemical ward is still a real problem, though, right? He's busy. He's barely keeping this VIP alive, and then he's got 2 more scheduled. Then he's only got 2 resources left and somebody with 5 waiting. So the chemical ward is where we are having a hard time. Finally, our construction project begins, and with 13 military contracts and then an additional 200 supply and everything kind of okay for the moment, I'm actually pretty eager to get on with another upgrade project, but we've got to wait an hour and a half until those guys finish this one before we can start another. Scouting obviously is one area where I want to make that upgrade, but helping the rehab center is kind of the next shortest one that I'd like to get to sooner rather than later, as our rehab center is struggling to keep up with, well, the good thing is we're going through a lot of surgeries and most of the patients are surviving. Bad news is that it's filling up the rehab center, so we need to help the rehab center a little bit. It's one area we just haven't done anything with. Another good event cuts the risk almost to nothing, and we've got a little bit of exhaustion to deal with here as another group of patients are brought from the advanced dressing station to the casualty clearing station, but we also have fatigue to deal with, as always. Update on the rehab center. We have 3 more patients to decide. 5 power out of the group. Don't need any morale. Let's send 1 back to the trenches, and then we will send the others to HQ. Another positive event. Boost to morale and shorter rehab. Very good. Up to 56% on the morale. Scout team expansion construction finished. So 2 things need to happen now. First thing, is it a housing issue we need to address? Let's see. Camp improvements, housing. There's no limit there. That's the number of scouts in the team that we boosted, not the number of scout teams. It makes each scout team more effective, faster of what they do, but it didn't boost. To get an additional scout team, we're going to need 24 hours, 3 military contracts, and 160 resources. Okay, well, good to know. I was saving the point for that, which means I could actually use that point somewhere else. So taking a look at hiring personnel. We cannot get an engineer at the moment. We could get another medic team, though. And that's certainly not a bad thing, as we are having trouble pulling people out of the trenches. So let's go ahead and get that 7th medic team on the way. We'll order them. They'll be here in 3 hours. Looking at resources, we have burned through the alcohol that we had pretty quickly. So we're going to spend a little bit to get a shipment on that. That's just 2 military contracts. Meanwhile, that's actually 20. So it's 20 food for 1 military contract. Well, holy cow, that's easy then. In the meantime, the others are the expensive ones, but keeping up the food rations and the alcohol make life easier. So we'll use 3 military contracts on another order. As for the schedule, the last shipment was 11 food and 260 freight. Okay, well, the second thing we needed to do now that the task was done is our engineers are pretty dang tired. The 2 that did that rested a lot, so you can see they're fairly fresh, but we now have some exhaustion in these guys, so we need to rotate them out. We'll begin with the 2 separate assignments here, and then we'll do, once they've rested, we'll put them in the pharmacy.
Sir, engineer is on the way. Sir, operation was successful.
Scout mission, Forest Wraith. Scout team finds the path through the forest and follows it. They frequently find traces of someone that uses the path. These traces are well masked, indicating the work of someone capable of tracking and covert movement. Maybe a hunter or maybe a German spy. Suddenly, multiple shots can be heard. They came from somewhere close, roughly from the direction the path was leading. Carefully approach the area and observe. You don't want to go rushing towards the shots. Scout team rushes to the open with their rifles ready to fire. I said don't rush. I said carefully. In the opening, the scouts see an old man with a P-14 rifle. There are 4 bodies of German soldiers in front of him. He appears to be searching the Germans, taking their dog tags and bullets. Then he finds some kind of papers, probably German orders. He studies them for a while. Scout commander decides to reveal their presence, shouting a greeting and leaving his hiding place. Hearing the commotion, the old man reaches for his rifle, but seeing British uniforms, he quickly lowers his barrel, then greets the scouts. When questioned, he reveals he lives in the nearby forest, and from the start of the war, he has been causing problems for the Germans, as he puts it. After a short conversation, the old man tells the scouts about a German convoy he has been tracking for a while and asks for their help in dealing with it. Nice. Good
Sir,
information.
Sir, patient is cured. Sir, new patient arrived.
Advanced dressing station number 7 changed much. We're actually still at 12. 2 dead waiting for transport.
Sir, nurses
2
reached the
wounded.
rehab.
Down to 2 wounded in the trenches. Most of them are at the advanced dressing station, which is making it a little bit easier to now get them to the casualty clearing station. And from here, we still have that 1 waiting, but we are up to enough supplies. I just have a feeling that that's going to be... Yeah, he's not going to make it through that one. But this one's good, so if we swap... That saves everyone. There you go. In the surgery ward, we now have 4 new ones. One of them just arriving is already a terminal case. 10 resources and high risk. Hell no. Denied. Okay, now we're looking at 3 manageable cases. We already have somebody who's well rested. That's going to use a lot of resources. Not a fan of that, but get the one that uses the least and is in the biggest danger. This one's rested. Get him on that, and then we'll do a second there. Doing pretty good in the surgical ward these days. We've got our 2 tired engineers. Down to 60 supply, so where everything else is improved, supply is still an issue. We have not quite gotten on top of it, especially as we make the trauma, chemical, and surgical supplies consistently. Positive event in surgery, no risk, and high morale. Excellent. 53%.
Sir, operation was successful.
Oh wow, decreased cost of 5 supplies. Oh, I like that. It's only a risk of 2 to begin with, so we are going to go for the save supplies situation We're up to 16 general surgical. We're up to 6 trauma. We're up to 12 chemical. Food is excellent at 155. We just got a shipment. I think it's time that we do something in regards to the fact that we have resources at the moment. So camp improvements, scouting, we've already discovered that, oh, by the way, we're not actually increasing the number of scout teams until we do this. So we're going to go ahead and get on with this project. Then the next project will be to help rehab time get short. 2 that are resting, and they don't have to rest much longer. The others just got swapped out, so they're going to be okay for the most part. We've cut the time down to 18 hours, but that's a pretty long project. We might want to get an extra engineer on it at some point and not spend all of our resources, as we're going to run out of that fairly soon. We've got 6.5 hours till the next train. The rehab center, 3 patients awaiting decision. We got a VIP. We'll send him to HQ. We have 1 that's going to be ready in 6 minutes. We're going to send him to the front. 3 power to the front. We'll send the other one to HQ. So 7 new incoming military contract power and a little bit more heading to the front. Just slowly, subtly keeping on top of that.
Sir, new
Ooh, we have
patient
an
arrived.
event. Is this one of the VIP ones? Potentially. Providing first aid. Sir, we've been noticed about an allied reconnaissance group nearby. HQ wants us to provide them with basic health checkup, nothing a nurse couldn't do. If we do so, they'll grant us staff permits. A nurse will be unavailable for 12 hours. Gain 2 staff permits. Yes. We have 1 resting at staff lodging, so we will assign her to that task. That does leave us short-handed. One of the nurses, the extra nurse from the operating ward, is going to have to kind of go through rotation to give rest to the others for 12 hours. But those
Sir,
staff contracts,
patient is cured.
hugely important. So.
Sir, we lost this patient.
Oh, that one died. Well, that sucks. We just lost a bunch of patients. Like, we just went from 76 to 82.
Sir, new patient arrived.
We lost 1 patient, and our number jumped
Sir, operation was
by
successful.
6. The advanced dressing station is down to 6. 1 more deceased there. I did speed things up a little bit, but my oh my. That shouldn't have happened. Just like that, casualty clearing station got real
patient is cured.
busy. But we largely cleared out the advanced dressing station for the first time. And you can see a number of the patients coming in aren't in great shape. We have 21 available supplies right now, though. So we can treat most of them. We've got a couple that are serious, but easy enough to save, especially with some doctors that are waiting. So we should be able to get out there and help them. What if we did that? They'll both make it. We can let the other one rest a bit. We'll wait on the others. In the meantime, trauma ward, well-rested doctor, 3 supplies. Should be able to save everyone who's been brought in. Supplies have run out, though, and we have 4 hours to the next shipment. So we need to change things up. 4 hours is a lot.
Medics are
That
on
is
the
quite
way.
the wait. So assignment. We are going to tell 2 to rest. And we're going to tell the others to go help with our Scout 10 enhancement.
Engineer is on the way.
For now, that cuts us down to a 10-hour time. Things will change before the 4 hours. I've got to keep an eye on that before that train arrives. Is the
Sir,
train...
nurses reached the casualty clearing
It
station.
is cargo. It is a cargo train coming in.
Sir, new patient arrived.
Oh gosh, casualty clearing station. Busy, busy, busy. That's really getting cleared out though, down to 6. It was 17, so we've really cut down on that. We've saved a lot of patients, but that one brief little stretch where a bunch of those patients out at the advanced dressing station dying was not good. Positive event. Risk cut down. Good.
Sir, doctor is starting a new shift.
Negative event. It's been a while since we've had one of those. Here we go. Longer rehab. 19 hours. 2 choices are unavailable to us. We do have a higher chance for a wound to not heal fully. Well, 19 hours extra it is. All the more reason to help this rehab center, which is not overloaded at the
Sir,
moment, at least.
new patient
To
arrived.
waiting decision. We'll send 1 to HQ, one to the trenches. Like I said, just the occasional. All right, folks. Well, patient numbers are still high.
Sir, medics
that event, which has already been a full day since it took place with that attack, we're still getting the aftermath of that. We lost some patients because of that. Not enough medic teams to really deal with everything out there. But making progress. We are making progress. Supplies are still low, but only the freight. Everything else is picking up. Everything else is improving, and we're getting there. And meanwhile, the military contracts are now becoming something that we're staying on top of. So I feel like we've made a lot of progress this time. Things are looking up. Overall numbers are improving. We were plus 20. We're now plus 27. And, we lost half a dozen patients in an instant. Other than that, things have gone very well. Most patients are surviving their surgeries. We're picking and choosing wisely in those regards. But we're 2 days away from our first major attack. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.
Sir,
Have a good one.
patient
Be
arrived.
safe out there. Bye for now.